Is Etsy out to get you? Is Etsy really suppressing your views and sales? Recently I've heard some really interesting things and I thought we would delve into them to see if there's any kind of truth to this. Hey, I'm Pam Duthie. I'm here to help you craft your career with creative marketing and artistic inspiration. So if there's something you're interested in, don't forget, hit subscribe and come back often. So what are some of these things that I've heard? Firstly, does Etsy give each shop a budget of sales each month? And if you sell too much too early on, they just stop showing you for the rest of the month? And secondly, does Etsy take into account the cost of living in your area and give you more sales if you live in an area with a higher cost of living and lower sales if you live in an area with a lower cost of listing? These are both questions that I've been asked in the past few weeks, so I thought I'd cover what my thoughts on this are. If there's any truth to it and what can you do about it if it is a thing. So, let's dive into this. Firstly, I don't think Etsy is committing that vast amount of resources into working out individual budgets for each shop based on their location and cost of living, and then keeping track of the estimated buyers for each month for each shop and deciding what to do if they go over that limit. When your shop's budget is exceeded, who would get the extra customers that are searching at the end of the month? And if this was the case, why don't shops in similar locations get similar number of sales? And what happens if a shop is driving its own traffic from social media and it hits its allocation number of sales for the month? Does Etsy just prevent people coming in and buying, even though it's not showing them in search or anything? The most important thing we have to think of for a system like this is, what would Etsy get out of a system like this? What Etsy wants to do, the driving force behind Etsy, is for it to make the most money it can. They want to show the customer, they want to show the person searching the item that they're most likely to buy. So if they took an item and showed it to many customers because it was the item they're most likely to buy, if it said at the beginning of the month, this is the item that the customers are most likely to buy, and shows it to the customers until it's reached its cap. Say it does that in a week, and then it switches off showing that listing. Then what it has to do from then on in is show the customers, show the people searching an item they're less likely to buy. So therefore, Etsy is less likely to make money, and also these potential customers, these people coming and searching on Etsy, are less likely to have a good experience and they're less likely to come back again. So a system like this, in the long run, would make Etsy less money. This makes zero sense at all. There is no point at all. There is no benefit for Etsy implementing a system that's going to make customers unhappy. Etsy doesn't care if sellers are unhappy. It makes the same money if one seller sells 10 items or 10 sellers sell one item. So if the minority of sellers make the majority of sales, Etsy doesn't care. Etsy doesn't care if that makes the customers the most happy. So a way to see if this is true is, are all sales even weighted by location, or do the minority of sellers make the majority of sales? And in this case, it is the latter. On Etsy, only around 3% of sellers make what could be considered a living wage. So why can it feel like this? Why can intelligent people think there might be a system like this? So many buyers get paid regularly. They possibly get paid monthly, or their bills come out and they have enough left over at the end of the month. So we might see more buyers shopping and clumping at different times of the month. And also, if your shop makes a sale and then relists that item, then you get a little boost in SEO. You get a little bumped up higher in the ranking. So an item that wasn't ranking very well makes a sale, relists, ends up a bit higher at the ranking, gets seen a little bit more, makes another sale, relists. So you might have a clump of sales until you have an unlucky period where, when you're getting seen, nobody buys for whatever reason for a few hours and you drop down in the ranking. So you might see a clump of sales and then it die away to nothing. But that's a feature of how the search engine works. That's not any kind of cap on how much you can sell. That's just based on what the buyer behaviour is showing to the search algorithm. So yes, this feels like boom and bust. And yes, selling online is boom and bust. We're not going to see steady sales every week of the entire year. It's going to be all over the place. That's the nature of selling online. And as for location, why, if you live in a less affluent area, does it feel like sellers in your area make less money? Now, a reason for this could be personalisation. Many areas have personalisation based on the location of the buyer and the seller. Etsy has seen that buyers often like to buy from people that are closer to them, so they're more likely to serve up results of shops that are closer to them. And if you live in a less affluent area, it's likely that the people around you have less money to buy on Etsy goods. So less or lower cost sales might be seen in that area. So it is possible that a seller in an area with a lower cost of living might make less money in Etsy sales. This doesn't mean that Etsy's targeting your shop. This again is just a feature of how the search engine works. Always when you hear conspiracies, ideas or worries, think to yourself, what would Etsy get out of this? And if it's not going to make them more money, I don't think they would be doing it. Thank you so much. I hope that helped. See you next time.